Hello everybody and welcome to this Season 5 preview of the Oxford United Road to Glory career mode. So this episode will be slightly different from previous episodes. There won't be any gameplay, not even highlights in this episode. I just said I would do a quick preview of the transfers that we've done, the goals for the season, what the objectives are that you can see here, and just all the kind of nitty gritty stuff before we get into the gameplay for Season 5 of the Oxford United career mode, which will begin on Tuesday. So I will upload the first proper episode of Season 5 on Tuesday. So that'll have our first fixture of the season, which will be against Fulham, just so you're aware. Little preview for you there as well. And it will also feature our first ever Champions League game. I am absolutely buzzing for it. But before we get into that, let me show you some of the objectives that we have here that the board have set for us, and let's get into what my objectives are for the upcoming season. Because let's just say, me and the board have quite different expectations and, as I said, objectives that we're both aiming for. So as you can see here, they want us to increase our club worth by 30% within 3 seasons through player sales and competition prize money rewards. That's not really a big one for us because, as I've explained already, this will be our final season at Oxford United. So this will be the last season that we do. No matter what happens, no matter whether we win nothing or no matter whether we do the quadruple, this will be the last one. So the pressure's on a little bit, and that's why this season I had to go big with some of the signings. They also want us to get a streak of 5 wins this season. I reckon we can do that. And they said sign 1 crucial first team player assigned to a forward position. Now that says 0 out of 1, but we have kind of done that. We've brought in a pretty big player to help our attack, but he technically right now is not down as a forward. He's technically down as a midfielder, but whatever. It's not a big deal. I don't think it will be a big issue going forward once we complete the objectives that I'm looking to complete myself. Youth development, we've already completed the first one, and then the second one is within 2 seasons sign 2 youth players to the senior team, play them in 10 matches, either as starting or as coming on as a sub. Again, not really too pushed about this one. It's more of a long-term one that's not going to affect us. We've already spoke about the brand exposure ones. For financial one we spoke about as well. These ones I thought were quite interesting. So domestic success, which is a low priority for the board, absolutely not for ourselves. They want us to finish in a Europa League spot in the Premier League and to reach the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Well, that's incredible because I want to win the Premier League and I want to win the FA Cup. Considering we came 4th last season and won the Conference League, I thought the board would have given us a more ambitious objective for domestic football, but here we are. But listen, I think it works in our favour because at least then, even if we did fall short of winning the league, it's not going to be an issue for the board. But we're finishing up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then the Champions League objective, I was quite surprised to see this. It was reach the semi-final of the Champions League, because I feel like in every single career mode that I do, as soon as we qualify for the Champions League for the first time, the objective is either to reach the final or to win it. So this is one of the rare times where I haven't seen that, but it's still quite an ambitious one, reaching the semi-final of the Champions League, but I want to go all the way and win Europe's elite competition. So those are the board objectives, but as I said, lads, it's the treble. I want to win the treble. Those are the 3 trophies we still haven't won in this career mode. We've won the League Cup. We did it on the 40-year anniversary. We won the Conference League last season. We've never been in the Europa League, so we didn't need to worry about that. So it's the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League are the ones to tick off. And to do it all in the last season, I think would be pretty special to seal a treble for Oxford United. So that would be pretty cool. But obviously, in order to do this, we did have to make some big signings. So without further ado, let me show you the brand new looking Oxford United team for Season 5, where we will be competing to win the Premier League title, to win the FA Cup, and to win the Champions League. This is it. As you can see, there's a few new names there, but they are very welcome additions to the team. And if you have a quick look at the bench, you might see a familiar name that we've brought back into the team. But this is our starting 11. Gavin Bazunu staying in goal. He has been one of my favourite signings that I have brought into any team in this career mode this year in FIFA, or FC24, whatever you want to call it. Probably my favourite goalkeeper I've used all year. He has been fantastic. It helps that he's Irish as well, 83 rated. He feels a lot higher rated than that. He's only like 25 years old, so he's still quite young. Time on his side. I believe he'll grow even more this season. I'm happy to keep him as the number one in net this season. Jed Spence still at right back. He was our first kind of big signing when we got promoted to the Premier League. I'm happy to keep him at right back. He's been one of our most consistent players. Flynn, obviously, we brought up from the Youth Academy in Season 1, and now he's an absolute just cornerstone of this team. And then there's 2 new additions to our back 4. I'll get on to the other centre-back in a second, but this guy right here, Warren, is actually Kieran Trippier's regen. So you might be wondering, how is he Trippier's regen when he's a left back? So when I was scouting through the free agents, Warren actually came up as a right back, but I've obviously spoke about it on here that I was looking to bring in a new left back, and I noticed that even though he was a right back, he was left footed. So I was like, you know what, it saves us money, free agent signing, I'll take that any day of the week. So we brought him in, converted him to a left back. He's only 18 years old, 83 rated. I am very, very excited to have him in this team. Eric obviously will be the backup left back, which I'm really happy with because I think he's a very good player. We did sell Ball. We sold him for, I think it was 5 million, but we'll get into all that in just a second. But then the big one, the butcher, Lisandro Martinez, Licha, the Manchester United centre-back, has swapped Old Trafford for the Kassam in this career mode, 87 rated. Bush has dropped down to the bench. Don't get me wrong, lads, Bush had a fantastic season last season, especially in the second half of the year. As you'll know, I wasn't overly thrilled with him in the beginning. I thought he had a bit of a slow start, but he came on and then some. He had a fantastic latter half of that season. Ended up scoring 5 goals as well. He was a big threat from set pieces, and he is still a big part of the squad. But I just felt like going for the big 3 trophies, we needed someone just that bit better, and it's a +7 upgrade there. Lisandro Martinez at the back, and to have Bush as a backup, I think that's absolutely brilliant. Jake O'Brien obviously will be the backup for Flynn then, so we have 2 right-footed centre-backs, and we also have 2 left-footed centre-backs. Jarrett and Gallagher are still the midfield duo there. I am looking to bring in another midfielder to have on the bench. We do have Costa there. I'm happy to keep Costa in the team, but I feel like we need a bit of a better backup midfielder. So we've sold a few players. There's one more player that we are looking to sell to bring in a bit more money to get another midfielder, but I'll keep you updated on that as it comes in. Diao still on the left, Rhino still to the middle, and this was the forward that I alluded to earlier. Olise, Michael Olise from Crystal Palace. He has signed for Oxford United. Because he's technically a right midfielder, it didn't count as a crucial first team player as a forward, but we are converting him to a right winger. It's going to take like 17 weeks for some reason, which is kind of stupid, but listen, he doesn't lose any stats there. The better he plays, the quicker that will go, so I'm very happy with that. I have never used this guy in a career mode. This is my first time actually using him this year, which I'm really, really excited about, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes. Tyler Goodrum, fantastic season last season, 19 goals, 82 rated now. He will still have a big part to play in this team. He may technically be a sub, but he will be playing quite a lot of games too. I just, kind of similar to Bush, felt like if we're going to go for these major trophies, we need just that bit of extra quality to have to rotate with as well. Having Goodrum and Bush as a backup, like, that shows what a good state the team is in. I know Rhino is only 81 rated. I did kind of half think about bringing in another attacking midfielder, but I feel like if he hadn't got injured last season, he'd have been a lot higher rated by now. And Will Holmes there, 82 rated. Again, it might seem on the lower side in comparison to some other players, but he did he did break the goal scoring record in the Premier League last season. He got 37 goals in 38 appearances, I think it was. So I'm more than happy to have Will Holmes in the starting lineup, to continue to be in the starting lineup, leading the line, and I'm sure his rating will grow. As you can see there as well, Aaron Connolly, he was the man we signed to be the main striker in the Championship, but then Will Holmes just took it to a new level. He wasn't happy with the lack of game time. We ended up selling him to Fenerbahce. We brought in Carlos Martin, who did decent towards the end, scored a few goals in the Conference League, so he contributed quite a bit to that success, but I just wasn't really feeling it. I didn't feel confident that if anything was to happen to Will Holmes, that Martin would be the guy to take us forward. So we've swapped him to bring back Aaron Connolly. He's back in Oxford United yellow. Happy to be a rotational player this time as well. So I was really, really happy with that. Then we go into the reserves. As you can see here, we did bring in quite a few free agents. Santos here, one of the main ones. Suarez came back from loan. This guy here, Devois, I think is how you say it. I was sold a dream with this guy. He had, from what it looked to be, from the report that I got, some unbelievable stats. I thought he was going to be at least 78, 79 rated. Only 72 rated. It's a bit more squad depth, but it's so frustrating that he's lower rated than what it looked. I saw a lot of these green stats here before they showed what his final overall was, and I was sold a lie, to put it mildly. We have Correa here as well. He's down as a centre forward, but as you can see here, he can play off the right, he can play as a cam, play off the left, he can play up front as well. So a good utility player to have. I just thought strength and depth was the key this season. We got this young right back here as well. Beadle obviously still there as the backup goalkeeper. Brannigan, didn't want to sell him, so he's still there too. O'Brien obviously, as I say, as a backup centre back too. Bloom has stayed here as well. Doak, we are looking to move on to get another midfielder, but we've accepted an offer from West Ham, so I will keep you posted as to when that will be, from when that will have gone through, I should say. But to give a bit of a wider look at the transfers here, let's have another look. So if we go into transfer history, this should give you an idea of some of the prices that we paid for players and the prices that we sold for players. So as you can see here, Lisandro Martinez, 46 million plus Valencia. Now you might be wondering, who the hell is Valencia? Well, let me tell you who Valencia is. He was another free agent fullback that I saw, who again, I thought was going to be more higher rated than what he actually was. He was only one rating higher than Eric, and I was like, well, that's a little bit disappointing, but he had good potential, decent value, and I thought, you know what? This could help us in the transfer window. So I actually used him as part of the swap deal for Martinez. United were happy to take a high quality left back. I was happy to help out United that way, because as you know, Manchester United is the team I support in real life, so I have no problem helping them out. I'm after doing something really stupid here at my TV, and I'm after losing my screen. There we go, it's back. My apologies, you wouldn't have seen that, but I was trying to adjust the brightness because my eyes were getting a bit irritated and I thought I lost the whole thing there for a sec. My bad. Ulisse did cost us 65 million, but I do think that will be worth it. That was another reason why Valencia worked out as well. I don't think we would have been able to sign both these guys just off our transfer budget. We had about 140 million when I loaded up the career mode, when we started it, the new season I should say, and with some of the other players I wanted to bring in, I don't think we would have been able to bring in both of them if we wanted to pay the full price for Martinez. Probably ended up overpaying for him a small bit, but I don't care because we got him in. Aaron Connolly, only 1.5 million plus Carlos Martin. I was very, very happy with that, considering he's worth 16 million. And Martin was only worth like 12 million, so we got him on a bit of a cheaper price. So I was very, very happy with that. 27 years old, 79 rated. We know what this guy can do. He was the main man in the League Cup in the lead up to winning that competition, so he'll be hopefully the main man in the Cup competitions as well this season. I'm very, very happy to have him back in the team. Welcome back, Aaron Connolly. Dragovic, we did move on, 6.5 million to West Ham. We might be selling another winger to West Ham as well with Duak, but 6.5 million. He wasn't really playing as much last season as he had in previous seasons. Felt like his form kind of dipped. He got off to a brilliant start. I think he was Perisic's regen as well, wasn't he? But didn't quite reach the heights that Perisic did. But wish him all the best at the London Stadium with West Ham United. Matsuda, this one kind of made me a bit sad. I was a little bit disappointed with this one. 5 million. He had potential to be special initially, then that dropped off to exciting prospect, and then it was just at the club since 2025 or whatever it was. So we sold him on for 5 million to Luton. He's already gone up 2 overall, fair play to him. In another career mode, he probably would have been the star of the team in the defence alongside Flynn, but in this I just didn't have the time for him. He's gone back to showing great potential. He'd lost that when that was weird. He didn't have that when I sold him. Oh, whatever. But anyways, he's gone to Luton, so best of luck to him. We got 5 million for him. Ball went to Girona for just over 4 million. Again, we brought in Warren, so didn't really need Ball in the team. He kind of dropped off as well. He dropped the ball, am I right? I'll see myself out. But anyways, he is off to Girona. Nishimura, another young Japanese defender, again, has potential to be special. That didn't come up until after we'd sold him. But again, we only have one season left, so probably wasn't going to have the time to become the special player that he could have been. But he went to FC Lorient for 3 million. Tank Abbott, Sam Abbott, didn't really grow while he was out on loan. We sold him to Everton for around 2 million. Turner was a young winger we sold for just over 1.5 million. Araujo was a striker we got rid of. Carvajal, bit of a rotational player over the last couple of years, did okay. Said we cash in on him, why not? 1.4 million he went for. Guzman's gone to I was going to say to partner up with Messi, but Messi's retired now. He's gone to replace Messi. 1.4 million to Inter Miami. Almeida also going to the MLS to New York City for just under £1 million. Santana, lads, the fucking amount of offers I accepted for this guy, excuse the French, but I genuinely thought we were never going to sell this guy. And finally, we get this offer here from FC Butusani. Clearly that was his dream club, because he rejected so many other moves to other clubs, and some decent clubs as well, in decent leagues. But finally we got rid of him. Bloody hell, I've had this guy transfer listed for like 3 seasons. At least it feels like that anyway. But he finally moved on, 700,000. Best of luck to him. But you've wasted most of your career sitting on our bench. Not even sitting on the bench. You were in the reserves doing absolutely sweet FA. But you finally moved on. Best of luck to you. Hopefully you won't hold them up if they ever try to get rid of you, you bastard. But he has moved on. Burke, I've loaned out to Fulham. I know you might think, what's the point in loaning out players at this stage of the season? I just didn't want to have a goalkeeper rotting away in the reserves when he's never going to play. And he's still quite young. Burke, 21 years old, 73 rated. So I said we'd loan him out. If we need to call him back, we can. And he'll keep growing. Same here with Simon. He's gone out to Bournemouth. Same situation with him. I just said that, we'll leave him go out there and grow, and if we need to call him back for whatever reason, we will. Ayala, we brought him in as a young free agent. 4.2 million is his overall. Sorry, my TV has gone very weird. There we go. Sorry, the HDMI was a little bit wonky there. My screen was going all funny. None of you could see that, but it was very distracting for me there. But he's worth 4.2 million. I just say we'd bring in a few agents for squad depth. They're all kind of roughly in the same position though, which is the only annoying thing. Cartwright here, Reggie Cartwright, another right back to have for a bit of squad depth. Correa, a bit of a versatile player for that front four. Reeve, I just brought him in because a lot of you will know I have relations named Reeve, so I said I'd bring him in just as a bit of a tip of the hat to that side of the family. We've already spoken about Dubois, Santos, Valencia, obviously we used in a swap deal with United. He's already shot up though. Well, I say shot up. He's gone up 1 overall, but his value has shot up. So yeah, we probably did overpay United a little bit for Martinez, but whatever. We've got a better left back. They've got a young prospect left back, and we got Martinez. So yeah, whatever. And there is the left back that I mentioned, Albie Warren, and I think that was everything. So that's all the transfers that we have made, and that is the new looking team. Now we are looking to bring in another midfielder, so I have them shortlisted here in the transfer hub. So Larson there, we're scouting. Berg, we're scouting. Kajargard, whoever you say his name, Gergard, I'm sure some of you in the comments will let me know. Probably a little bit out of our price range. We do currently have 11 million. As you can see here, Doak, we did accept an offer from West Ham. We also accepted an offer from Anderlecht, I should say, 10.5 million and 9.5 million. I'd imagine the West Ham one will go through first because they put in the offer first, and the Premier League just seems to get the better of these deals when it comes to FC24. Anderlecht are a Belgian team who we have quite a history with when it comes to that league, but they don't tend to get players on the wage that are higher on the wage scale in comparison to the Premier League teams. So we haven't or we don't know the outcome of that yet, but I would imagine West Ham will be the team that he will go to. But yeah, sorry, to go back into this here, these are the midfielders I'm looking at. Berg, I reckon, would be a good one. I just need to get an idea on the price range. Same with Larson, but that'll be all found out in due time. But in terms of how much money we have at the moment, it's 11 million, so hopefully we'll have about 22 million to spend, and we might be able to we might be able to work something out. Who knows, we might end up just including one of those free agents, because as I said, most of them play in the same position, so if I have to sacrifice one of them to include in a swap deal, I'll happily do that. So it ain't a problem. So yeah, just to give you an idea of the fixtures, as I say, Fulham is the first game, which will be played in full on the channel in the next episode. We'll play the highlights of Brentford and West Ham, and we'll also play the highlights of the Tottenham game, and then we will end things in that episode around here with our first ever Champions League game, which I am absolutely buzzing for. I'm looking forward to showing you the group. Obviously I don't know it at the time of recording, but I'm really looking forward to seeing our very first ever UEFA Champions League group. So lads, that will do it for this preview of the Oxford United Road to Glory Career Mode Season 5. It will be the last one, but I really want to make it a great one. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having you along the journey with me, so I hope you're looking forward to it as well. It will premiere this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Irish and UK time, so set your alarms, mark your calendars, get the popcorn ready, get your favourite food, because it's going to be an absolutely brilliant one. Looking forward to sharing it all with you. See you then. God bless.